Okay, class. Meanwhile, I take or call out the attendance. I need you, please think about what are the things you're doing now and how the things you're doing now are going to affect or the effect that those things are going to have in your future. Okay, so I need you to do like to think in your future and how the things you're doing just right now are helping you to achieve everything you want to do in the future. Okay, so as I told you, I'm going to call out the attendance, so please pay attention, and meanwhile I need you to think about what I asked you. Okay, so just give me a second, please. So for example, what do you want or how do you perceive yourselves in 5 years from now? Erika, could you tell me how do you perceive yourself in 10 years from now? Okay, so I'm going to call out the attendance and then please pay attention. Remember, if any of you can answer because your microphone is not working or something like that, or because of the connection, please tell to your classmate to say that you are here just in order for you to get your attendance. Please. Okay, just give me a second because this is not working as fast as I wish. Okay, so let's start with this. Okay, class. So let's start by doing this. So, um, Kevin, Erika,
Present teacher.
Andy,
Present.
Sandra,
Present.
Liliana, is Liliana in here? Okay. Anais,
Present.
Angela,
Present, teacher. ¿Sí me escuchó, profe?
yes, Yatsiri,
Present.
Marta,
Present.
Indiana,
Present teacher.
Pila,
Present.
Dulce,
Present.
Alma, is Alma in here?
Me dice que tiene problemas con su internet, profe.
Okay, thanks for telling me. Arturo,
Here.
mm, Ruby,
Teacher.
Victor,
Here.
Janetti, is Janet in here? Okay,
Here,
thanks.
teacher.
Mónica,
Present teacher.
Jessica,
Present.
Dulce,
Present.
Axel,
Present, teacher.
Victor,
Present.
Diana,
Present.
Iris, is
Present teacher.
okay, thanks. Okay, class. So, did you thought or did you think in what I asked you to? So, for example, Iris, what are the things you're doing now, like in the present, and how the things you're doing now are helping you to achieve your goals for the future? Could you tell me that? Or what about you, Victor? Well, Victor Manuel, what about you? What are the things you're doing now and how those things are going to help you for the future? Can you give me an example of that? Class, what's happening? So,
Profe, ¿qué preguntó?
What kind of things, for example, what kind of things are you doing right now, like in the present, and how the things you're doing now are going to help you to achieve your goals for the future? You can give me an example of that? Any? Anyone? Class? Class? So, okay. Well, let's start with the topic of this class. And, okay. So, the thing in here is, what are you doing now? What kind of things are you doing now? Like in this period of time that it's present, what are you doing now, and how the things you're going to doing now are going to help you to achieve the things you want for your future. For example, if you want to travel in the future, or if you want to go to any different country or any different place, what are you doing to do that in the future? What are you doing now to travel in the future, maybe? Or what are you doing now to have a car in the future, maybe? So that's are some examples of what I want to hear from you. I need you to tell me that. What are you doing now, and how the things you're doing now are going to help you for the future? That's what I want you to explain me. What kind of things you're doing, like for example, in your lives right now, and how those things are going to help you to improve or to be better in the future, maybe. Chicos, ¿qué cosas están haciendo ahora y cómo lo que están haciendo ahora los van a ayudar o los va a ayudar para su futuro?
For example, I am studying the
Mhm.
university for or to to work in the future.
Okay, yes, that's a possibility. Yes, excellent, good. Another example.
I am working uh, every weekend.
Mhm.
I am studying uh, tourism,
Tourism.
tourism. Pues creo que ya.
Okay. Another example, class. Do you have any other example?
For example, I am trying to understand the class, uh,
Okay.
learn English.
Okay, I'm trying to, yes, to understand the class, to learn English. Okay, good. That's a good idea. Okay, so basically, this is what we're going to learn today. Today, we're going to do the first conditional, which the main purpose of the use of the first conditional is that to talk about present situations or real situations and their possible results in the future. So we're going to express like something that it's happening maybe just right now and what is going to be or what will be a possible result for the action. That's what we are going to do today. So have you studied the first conditional in your previous courses, class? Have
¿Cuál
you
es el
studied?
condicional que se ocupa?
No, in this case, have you studied the first conditional in your previous classes? ¿Ya vieron el tema en sus clases anteriores?
Creo que no.
Okay, so today we're going to learn it. And actually, it's not difficult. So the only thing we need to know is the tenses we're going to use and what is the structure. So I'm going to share again some slides, just in order for you to have like some examples and information.
Creo
And
que
with
sí
that,
era,
you're going to use.
es como si haces esto, sí, utilizando el if, ¿no?
Yes. Yes, that's the idea. We're going to use if in order to talk about something we're going to do in the future. So, basically, we're going to study. Do you know how many conditionals are there in the English language? Class, do you know it? Do you know how many conditionals do we have in the English language? Okay.
3.
3? Okay. So you said there are the first conditional,
No,
second
second
conditional.
conditional.
How many conditionals do we have in the English language? ¿Cuántos tenemos?
¿Mande?
Okay, so how many conditionals are there in the language?
Profe, ¿son 3 condicionales?
What if I tell you there are 4 conditionals? ¿Qué tal si les digo que hay 4? Would you believe me or not?
Pero el cuarto es mixto, ¿no?
No. Oh, we can have mixed conditionals, that it's a very important part of this. But it's different. There are 4, and we can also create mixed conditionals. So, in this case, we have 0 conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. In this case, well, the curse we're following tell us to teach you the first conditional, so that's what I'm going to do. But at the same time, I'm going to explain you how the 0 conditional works. What do we need to apply the 0 conditional? But let's focus on this part first. So let's go with this. Okay, the first conditional. We use the first conditional to talk about real situations and their possible results in the future. we say real conditionals or real conditions in this case, because we can also talk about imaginary situations, or yes, that's why we're in this case. The first conditional is to talk about real situations, but we're going to talk about possible results, something that we're not sure. And remember, as when we just saw the future, when we use will, it's because we're not sure that something is going to happen. We have the intention or we want that to happen, but we're not sure about it. So in this case, we're going to use it. And what do we know or what do we have? First of all, um, what we need in here is to understand it as um, clauses, okay? So the first one in the sliding here, you see the first clause and simple present, and we use if. Some people call it if clause, yes, or the real clause or the situational clause. What is the situation? What is happening or what happens in the present? And the other, the result class, is the one you see in blue. So we have the situation clause and we have the result clause. Yes, as I told you, some people call it if. If means sí as conditional in Spanish. So for the first conditional, our clause or our sentence is going to be related into different clauses, or is going to be linked. And in this case, the first one, the if clause, will always use or always is going to use the simple present. So if I study hard, si estudio mucho, then we need a comma, and then we need to mention what will the result be. In this case, if I study hard, I will pass my test. So the real situation class is like I need to study. If I study, in this case, what is the advantage of what will be the result of studying? I will pass my test. Yes, so we have like a situation and a consequence for that situation. Did you understand that part, class? Yes. Okay.
Yes,
So
teacher.
that's why we having this part. We have
Yes, teacher.
the situational or the if clause, and then we have the clause with the possible result. Yes. So in this case, we're going to understand that we can just reorder the sentence, and we can begin with the situational or the possible result class. If I and then that's why we have in the negative example or the negative example of a sentence. It says, I won't pass my test if I don't study hard. Yes. So if we translate it into Spanish, no pasaré mi examen si no estudio. So as I told you, you can begin your sentence with the if class or with the result class. But in this case, what we're going to be focused in is when we use the if clause at the beginning of the sentence, we need to add a comma in order to link it with the second clause. Yes? And then when we start with the result class, the if, it's going to be our connector. So in this case, we're not going to need a comma. So if my sentence begins with the if clause, I need to link with the result clause with a comma, the comma we have in red in here. Yes? And then the second part, or when we start with the result class, I won't study my test if, which is the connector of the sentence, I don't study hard. Yes? Class, is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
So remember, for the first conditional, as we're going to talk about real situations, we need the simple present. And as we're going to use, or we're going to talk about possible results in the future, we're going to use the simple future, or the future with will. Yes? Class? Okay, and I had a mistake in here. So possible is with double S, and at the beginning it just had one. So do you have any, well, in this case, do you have any question with the structure of this class? Class, do you have any question related to this so far?
No, teacher.
Sure?
No, teacher.
Okay. So, well, this is the common, or yes, the common expression of this. At the same time, as you mentioned, if means see as a conditional situation. Yes? And we also can create first conditional sentences, or conditional sentences, with the word unless. What you have in here? Unless is the negative part of see. In this case, you can express it as si no. Yes? So in Spanish, it can be translated or understood as si no, or a menos que. So unless. And in here we're going to just talk about negative situation of this. Yes, we can also say. And yes, in this case, if with if we can just create something that it's going to have like a possible result, well, a positive result in this part. But then unless, we're going to talk about actions and results. The examples we have in here is you can't be the winner unless you have all the counters. Yes? And the example we have in here, unless you listen carefully, you won't understand what to do. Si no escuchas con atención, you won't understand what to do. No entenderás qué hacer. So is it clear how to use it? So remember, unless it's like, or yeah, it is going to be like tending to a negative aspect of a situation. So we need to do something in order to something bad won't happen in the future. So that's why we have unless you can't or you can't be the winner unless you have all the counters. So you need to do something in order to not to get a bad result or a bad yes, a bad possible result. So unless means si no or yes or a menos que. So you can be the winner unless you have all the counters. Unless you listen carefully, you won't understand what to do. Is it clear, class, how it works with unless? And again, we're going to do the same thing. In this case, the only thing we're doing is to change the if that we have in the first examples. And instead of it, we just unless. And as I told you, this is like in order to not to get a bad result. So or in this case, we need to do something in order to not to get a bad result of something. Yes, class.
Teacher.
Okay. So what I need you to do is to tell me orally two examples using the first conditional. Yes? And in this case, we're going to just have some examples because I need or I want to explain to you how the zero conditional works. I think it's like, well, in some cases, people said that it's not like so important because it's the easiest thing to do. But in this case, it's very important for you to know all of them because you're going to understand it in a better way. What for we're going to use the conditionals, how they work, and what are the differences. So, who wants to start with the examples, please?
¿Cuántos?
Two, using the if. Well, in this case, using if. So, an example of a conditional using if, or in an example of first conditional using unless. So, who wants to be the first one? Axel, what about you?
Example. Um, if I put attention in class, my homework will be more easy.
Okay, yes, that's the idea. In this case, just in order to, well, the expression is pay attention. Pay attention. Put attention is not correct. A lot of people use it, but it's like kind of a joke. And well, for Mexican people, it is more like a joke. In this case, so the idea of this is pay attention. Pay attention, okay? With the verb or the word pay, that is pagar, also as a verb. So in this case, we're going to say pay attention. Yes?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, what about an example using unless? Axel, do you have the example?
Sí, lo estoy haciendo el otro. Espérame tantito, por
Uh,
favor.
Good. Who else has a first conditional, well, like they using the if example? Who else has it?
Teacher,
Tell me.
¿le puedo decir mis ejemplos?
Yes.
Your sister will go mad if you touch her things.
Can you repeat it, please?
Your sister will go mad if you touch her things.
Okay. Her things or her belongings could also be. Yes, good, excellent.
I am not going to dance if unless don't invite me. Es que ahí me revolví.
Invite. Okay, can you repeat it, please?
Yes, I am not going to dance unless don't invite me.
I am not going to dance.
Unless don't invite me.
Okay, in this case, it would be like I won't dance. I won't dance. Well, the idea is understood, but it would be very like I won't dance unless someone invites me. Or like, for example, unless you and you have a specific name, for example, like I won't dance unless Carlos invites me. Yes? So remember, well, in this case, we're using unless in order to express like a negative part or situation of this, but the but the structure is going to be the same. We need simple present and we need the future simple that in this case will be will or is will. Yes. So that's why like with going to the idea is understood, but it's not like very clear or appropriate according to, well, in this case, as I told you, it would be like understood, but the appropriate thing should be like or would be using will. Yes.
Ya la corregí.
Okay, good. So do you have any other idea of this class?
¿Yo puedo?
Okay, go ahead.
Teacher,
Eh,
¿puedo decirme
mm,
definición?
voy yo primero, ¿no?
Okay, please.
Okay, if don't
Sí, por eso
go
apagué mi
with you,
micrófono.
if
Okay,
don't
okay.
go with you, they won't buy me anything.
If I won't go, if I, yes, in this case, if I won't go with you, they, but in this case, we're using two. If I won't go with you,
If don't go with you, they won't buy me anything.
yes, if I don't go with you, they won't buy me anything. Good. Well, good idea. Yes, that was good.
Second example is your mom. If she doesn't work, she doesn't win.
Can you repeat it?
Your mom, if she doesn't work, she doesn't win.
Win on what?
Win
Okay, yes, but well, the idea.
money.
Okay, earn. When we talk about like a contest, we say win. Okay.
Okay.
Cuando hablamos como de alguna competencia o concurso o la lotería,
Okay.
por ejemplo, que es un sorteo,
Okay.
we're going to use the verb win. But when
¿Y
we
cuando
talk
es
about
dinero?
like experience or money, yes, when we talk about money or experience, we say earn.
Okay, entonces sería
Earn.
earn. Okay.
Yes. So
¿Lo leo
in
de
this
nuevo?
case, your idea is correct. Well, in this case, let's make the corrections in here. You say, well, the idea in here is unless your mom unless your mom work or unless your mom works,
Okay.
she won't earn money. Yes, unless your mom works, she won't earn money.
Ok, profe. Gracias.
Okay, who's next?
I, teacher.
Ya vi con los dos.
Okay, yes, but who's next? There
Eh,
was something who wanted to.
mande.
Okay, who's next?
If I wash dishes, my mom will be happy.
If I wash
I
the
will have
dishes, if I wash the dishes,
will be happy.
my mom will be happy. Excellent, good.
I will have money
And the other
if I
example,
work every day.
okay, I will have money if I work every day. Good. What is the only example? Do you have the only example in this?
Is I will have money if I work every day.
I want. Well, but remember you need to use an example with unless, like just in order to express a
Um,
negative situation. Like for example, unless I want, or as the previous example we use according to the mom. In this case, your example would be like, unless I don't work, I won't have money, or like for example, yes, something like that. Or
okay,
I
teacher.
yes
Thanks.
yes
Teacher, ¿te puedo decir
okay.
los míos?
Who's next? Oh, go ahead, please.
Yo le dije que después.
Bueno,
Ella
Okay.
después.
Oh,
mm,
that's why I'm asking you. Like, for example, if I say like, okay, I'm on like the following, for example, or I'm next. So that's why I asked you like, who's next? Because just in order to have a control of this, like for example, if you participate and then you say, I want to just do it. So I need just to follow the order of your participations, please.
ya se los puedo decir.
Yes.
Ok,
Okay. So
primero es I, I will work, I will have money. Y el
if can you
segundo es
repeat it?
I, I will work, I will have money.
If I work, I will have money.
Ujú. Y el
Is that
segundo es
your
I
idea? If
don't
I work,
mande.
yes, continue. What is the second one?
I don't leave home unless I don't have food.
Okay, I won't leave. Or it would be like, unless I don't have food, I won't leave home. A menos que no tenga comida, no saldré de casa. That would
Ujú.
be like the idea. Okay, good.
Gracias.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, who's next?
Yeah, teacher.
Yo.
Okay, so there are two of you. Who's going to be the first one?
Bueno, con el condicional yo le puse if I learn to play guitar, I will know how to sing many songs.
If I learn to play the guitar,
Ajá.
I
And
will know how to sing songs or how to play different songs or many
okay,
songs.
okay.
Yes, the idea is that if I learn to play the guitar, I will know how to play many songs. Maybe that's the idea.
Okay.
Because you can, well, because in your idea you say sing, right? But sing is like something that you don't necessarily need to play any instrument. So that's why the idea I gave you is like a little better in order to express that idea you have. Okay, what is the other example you have?
Y me falta otra. You can't pass your exam unless you study hard.
In this case, you won't pass your exam because remember, well, in this case, the idea is correct, but you're using simple. You say you can pass your exam unless you study hard. That's a possible thing to do, yes. But in this case, remember, we need to use the simple future, so you won't pass your exam unless you study hard. Yes?
Yes, teacher, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yo,
Okay, go, please.
um, if I homework, I will have a good grade. If
Mm-hmm.
I can, I can have a good grade unless I do your work.
I do my homework.
Uh-huh.
I do unless I do my homework. I won't have a good grade unless I do my homework.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes, teacher.
Excellent. Good.
¿Puedo pasar?
Of course.
Ok. Con el conditional sería if I no sé. Sería if not study, do not pass the exam.
If I won't study or if I don't
If
study,
I
remember
don't
how to make a negative part in simple present. If I don't, I won't pass the exam.
the exam. Ah, ya.
Yes?
Ajá. Y el otro sería unless you don't want to play, do you homework?
Yes. Uh, but in this case would be like better to express. Um, because remember, well, when we use unless, we need to express a negative aspect.
Oh,
So
ya.
you're going to say you won't play unless you do your
Ajá.
homework. Yes?
Oh, yes.
Good.
Sí, teacher.
Okay, excellent. Good. Is there anyone else who wants to give us some examples of this?
¿Puedo pasar yo?
Yes.
Uh, if I, if I have money, I will buy a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
I won't buy a cell phone if I don't have money.
Okay. Or you can also, in that idea, you can use the unless. I won't buy a cell phone unless I have money. And that's like the idea.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I won't buy a cell phone unless I have money. Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Good. Excellent. Is there someone else who wants to share the ideas you have for this?
Teacher, ¿puedo pasar?
Yes.
Um, con conditional is if sleep a lot, I will have a headache.
If I sleep if I sleep a lot, I will have a headache. Yes, it was correct. Maybe just the pronunciation. A headache. Yes.
Yes, teacher. Headache.
Headache. Headache.
Headache.
Yes, headache.
Yeah. Con unless
Yes.
mm, puse we can we cannot we cannot change the word unless they change themselves.
We won't change. Well, in that idea is correct. Again, we can change the word if we don't change, unless we change ourselves in this case. That's correct, but remember, we need to follow the structure for the first conditional, that it's the future. So we won't change the world unless we change ourselves. Yes, just
Mm,
as like just as like remember. Well, the idea you express is also correct to say it. It's valid. But in this case, as we're using the first conditional, we just need to just follow the rules. So the rule says we need a simple present and future simple with will. So that's what we need to do. Your idea is correct. It's totally correct, but in this case, we need to just follow the structure of this. Yes?
yes, teacher.
Okay. Is there someone else, class? Someone else? Okay, class. Well, the time is almost getting over, or it's almost over. So what I need you to do, well, as I told you, I want to explain you how the zero conditional works. But I think we're going to do it on Friday because the lack of the time, or the lack of time we have today. And then your homework. Do you have the examples in here? And well, you have also the how to order the sentences, like if the if clause or the will clause. So what I need you to do, this is going to be in a Word document, and you're going to send it to the email. What I need you to do is to create you're going to create four sentences using the if clause, or the if clause at the beginning. You're going to create a four more sentences where you use the result clause of the beginning, and you're going to create five sentences using unless. Okay, so in total you need to deliver 13 sentences, and your deadline for this delivery is until Thursday. Yes, Thursday midnight, please. Is it clear, class?
Solo tenemos el día de hoy, teacher.
No, well, in this case, you're going to do your homework, and as you're going to just work a little bit, or I think that it's like, well, you have like other subjects and work from other subjects. You're going to have unless or until in this case until Thursday midnight to send your homework. Yes. Van a tener hasta el jueves a la medianoche para enviar su trabajo. 13 oraciones, 4 usando la cláusula de resultado al principio, 4 usando la cláusula de situación al principio y 5 usando unless. Yes?
En total son 13 oraciones,
Yes,
¿verdad?
Yes, that's correct.
De unless y situación. ¿Y qué más, teacher?
Yes, so for example, you're going to just, the examples you have in the screen, you're going to write down 4 using the if clause as it is the beginning, the part that it's in green. Then you're going to read another 4 using the result clause at the beginning. And then the unless. Solamente van a intercambiar, por ejemplo, en las donde son 4 oraciones, van a intercambiar como el orden. Cuando empiezan con la cláusula de resultado o con el presente simple en este caso, y luego van a empezarlo con la cláusula digo, al revés, van a empezar con la cláusula de resultado y van a empezar con la cláusula de situación. Como lo tenemos en los primeros 2 ejemplos, quiero 4 ejemplos de cada estructura o de cada orden de estos que tienen acá. Y luego quiero 5 oraciones usando unless, donde ustedes usen unless. ¿Ok?
Ok, teacher.
Okay. Then see you on Friday. Have an excellent week. Keep safe and take care of yourself, please. See you then. Have an excellent day.
Thank you, teacher. See
Thank
you.
you.
You're
See you.
welcome.
See you.
See you. Bye.